go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Masters Fantasy Football podcast YouTube show. We've got another edition of Sleepers for you. If you saw our new guy Evan here helping run drafts, and as you can also see, we're out here running drafts as we speak. He gave it a nice list of redraft sleepers. This episode, he'll be diving into a couple of Dynasty Sleepers for you. Before that, though, we are out here for a reason. It is football season. It is draft season. MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com, running drafts from 12 o'clock noon to 12 o'clock midnight, all day long. Plenty of different options for you to draft a team and be ready for football season. We've got them all. So do us a favor. Come join the Masters family. I'll probably run your draft. We can talk a little shop if you like. And, it's the perfect time. Football season is just right around the corner. So you can't be sitting around waiting. You got to draft that team, But enough of that. We'll kick it over to Evan here, who, again, junior draft coordinator. He's working hard with us this summer. He's got some Dynasty Sleepers he's itching to tell you, so I'm going to let him tell you.
Awesome, yeah. Just for fair warning, I only have a couple because I know these guys have hit on like 50 billion if you've been watching. So I have a couple, and I'll just jump right in. So my first guy that I'm really targeting in a lot of my Dynasty leagues is Elijah Mitchell. I think in both of my rookie drafts this year, this is a guy that didn't even go drafted. And,
right.
I was able to get off waivers or in the third round. But Elijah Mitchell's a guy that, he has all the physical ability in the world. He ran a 4.32 at his pro day. He's got good size on him. He's 5'11", 218. And he goes to a team in the San Francisco 49ers that we all famously know is the running back by committee. Poster child. They've had in the last years, how many running backs have they had? Matt Breida, Jerick McKinnon, Tevin Coleman, Mostert.
Yeah.
They've had all these guys, kind of rotate in and out. And now it obviously seems like it's Mostert's job, like he's taking control of it. But Mostert's a guy that has struggled with injuries in his past. He's a guy that's getting up there in age. He's not a spring chicken anymore. And then they also have Trey Sermon ahead of him, who they just drafted, who's unproven.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson, another one too, who's banged up.
Yeah, okay. He's always banged up.
Yeah, another one, yeah.
But Elijah Mitchell's a guy that I think, might not, he's not a guy that is necessarily going to produce this year, but he's 2 injuries away or an injury and Trey Sermon not producing away from, getting some opportunity in probably the most running back friendly offense in the NFL in Kyle Shanahan's offense. But
for sure.
Elijah, I'm looking at Elijah to, have on my team for maybe 2-3 years, and hopefully down the line he's getting those opportunities.
Yeah.
But I really just can't ignore his physical skill.
Yeah, I agree. I think the skill and the situation are big. I know it seems like he's buried right now, but, all the running backs ahead of him have a pretty extensive injury history. Trey Sermon had trouble staying on the field last year for Ohio State before exploding on those few games to close the year out. And, at the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan is probably the best in the league in terms of, it doesn't really matter where you are in the depth chart. Guys are going to get carries. He's going to get opportunity, and it won't be a lot. But I think if he shines in those opportunities, I think the opportunities are going to get more and more and more as we see those guys either break down ahead of him or, whether it just be age or moving on like a Mostert situation to a different contract, different team. I think there's a path there for sure for Elijah Mitchell, and I like that.
Yeah, totally, 100%. The second and last guy I have is a guy that I'm actually just so thrilled about. I'm so excited about him.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's going very overlooked just due to the position he's at this year, and especially in this draft at quarterback. You had guys like Lawrence and, all the other, Zach Wilson and Trey Lance and everybody else go over him, Justin Fields. But this is a guy, Kellen Monde. He got drafted by the Vikings in the top of the third round, 66 overall. That I think, again, is just another guy that has so much talent. This is kind of a stretch here. It's kind of a hot take. But to me personally, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Patrick Mahomes. He's a guy, he's got a taller frame. He's like 6'2", 6'3", I believe. He's very athletic. He's great. making plays with his feet, moving the pocket, getting to the outside, and extending the play.
Right.
He has a big arm, and if you go look at the metrics in college, he's actually good under pressure, and that's one of the things that I look for when I'm looking at a college quarterback going to the NFL.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're gonna have less time. You got to get the ball out quicker, and I think that really bodes well for Kellen.
Right.
And again, in his situation, he's not a guy that's probably going to produce this year, but he's looked really good in preseason. I think he has a really good chance to take over that number 2 backup spot behind Kirk Cousins. And who knows what's going to happen with Kirk Cousins in the future? He's on a massive contract. You never know when the Vikings are going to want to move on from that.
Right.
He's one injury away from getting an opportunity to really shine in the game, take that job over. I just think he's almost right there. Just one or two things need to happen, and he has an opportunity. I think he runs with it. And he's a guy that you can get undrafted as well, maybe late in the 3rd round, and just stash him on your team.
Yeah, it's sometimes it can be hard to stash the rookies that don't really have a shot to play this year. But I do think in Kellen Monde's case, it might be worth it. I actually see a little bit of like Dak Prescott to him, where he's just kind of like that gritty SEC West kind of quarterback that wasn't on the big, Alabama or whoever. I mean, I feel like that has a little bit of a comp there, and the athleticism too as well. And another thing that I was thinking of when you were talking about him was he always seemed to wasn't fazed by the big games. I'll say it that way. Like Clemson, Alabama, they would always play them tough when they did play, and I think that says a lot about Kellen Monde too. And yeah, I mean, who knows? There seems to always be rumblings about Kirk being on the way out just with his contract situation. So, I mean, who really knows? There's a good chance he could be starting for the Vikings next year, throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, and things look pretty good in that scenario. So, yeah, I really like the stash, and if you don't have a roster spot, it's definitely a guy I'm keeping my eye on and trying to add at the end of the year before, the season's over.
Totally, yeah, 100%. That's really all I have for my deep Dynasty sleepers. I said, I didn't have many, but that's what I got.
Yeah, I like both of them. Both guys to keep an eye on for sure. And, one more time for you. We're out here running drafts. Look at this. This is where we draft. Beautiful, beautiful wood. You can hear probably the outdoor, the scenery. It's lovely. A perfect place to run drafts. Perfect place to have you guys come run drafts with us. So if you could, sign up for a draft. We're running them noon to midnight every single day. Any draft your heart desires, I have a feeling it's going to be sitting there waiting for you. So hop right in. Come be a part of the Masters family. And as always, toss a like on the video, leave some comments. We love hearing from you. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.